It was just after 4 a.m. when the sky above Kiev lit up with a sharp, unnatural glow. Seconds later, the sound came. An impact so fast, so precise, it felt like a knife slicing through silence. Ukrainian radar operators hardly had time to react before the alarms screamed through command centers. The weapon? Not a drone, not a cruise missile. Something faster, harder to detect, and almost impossible to stop. The Kinzhal. For years, air defense systems like Patriot, NASAMS, and SAM-PT offered a semblance of security. A layered shield designed to stop nearly anything. Now, Russia is proving that missiles traveling at Mach 10 and maneuvering unpredictably can slip through that shield entirely. What you're watching here isn't drama. It's the new reality of modern warfare. From MiG-31Ks over Crimea to coastal launchers on the Black Sea, Russia has quietly entered a new phase of combat, one where hypersonics dominate the narrative. Today, we're unpacking how two weapons, the Kinzhal and the Zircon, have reshaped Ukraine's battlefield, and why every launch tests the limits of Western air defense technology. A missile strike that involved 6 Kinzhals in one coordinated launch over Kiev in March 2023 stands out not just for scale, but for symbolism. It was one of the largest hypersonic attacks in history. Only afterward did Ukraine confirm it had used Patriot batteries to intercept several of them, proof that even these unstoppable missiles can be stopped under the right conditions. Yet still, the event shook confidence in air defense systems. The Kinzhal, officially the Kh-47M2, is air-launched from MiG-31K jets, flying at speeds up to Mach 10 and reaching ranges of up to 2,000 kilometers. When in flight, it generates a plasma cloud, blinding radar, and crippling response time for defenders. By early 2024, Ukraine had intercepted 25 of 63 Kinzhal missiles launched, a roughly 40% success rate, significant but not enough to stop the rest. As of late 2024, Russia had launched around 111 Kinzhals, with approximately 28 intercepted, leaving many to land, sometimes causing serious damage. Imagine, each hypersonic missile reportedly costs around 10 million USD, and yet can threaten assets worth close to $1 billion USD. That asymmetric cost model is powerful. One impact can lead to system redeployment, interceptor depletion, and strategic confusion. Enter the Zircon, Russia's sea and potentially land-launched hypersonic cruise missile. Although experimental, debris analysis confirmed its use over Kiev in February 2024. The Zircon reportedly travels at speeds between Mach 8 and Mach 9, with a range of about 1,000 kilometers and a 300-kilogram warhead. On March 25, 2024, 2 Zircon missiles were launched from Crimea-based land sites, or possibly naval platforms in the Black Sea, targeting Kiev's intelligence headquarters and airport. Russian media claimed direct hits. Ukrainian sources assert both were intercepted in terminal flight phase when speed slows to Mach 4.5. What matters most isn't the interception count. It's the fact that 2 different hypersonic systems have been combat-tested. When missiles like these fly live, every defense system is recalibrated. Australia, Japan, Europe, they're watching intensely. If you're thinking, why risk using such rare and expensive missiles? Here's the answer. They're as much about strategy as destruction. A single successful hypersonic strike can force Ukraine to redeploy radars, reposition expensive air defense units, and trigger panic in command layers. Even a failed interception costs Ukraine interceptors, radar exposure, and precious reaction time. Russian tactics often begin with cheap, slow Shahed drone swarms, saturating defenses, provoking radar activation, Then follow up with a hypersonic missile strike intact. It's an asymmetric equation. Small investment triggering high-cost responses. Halfway through, let's pause. Here's a question for you. Would you feel safe under a missile flying at Mach 10 when you only have seconds to react? Drop your reactions in the comments below. Let's look at how hypersonics have affected the broader air defense picture. Western deployment of Patriots in Ukraine initially seemed like a deterrent to hypersonics. In May 2023, Ukrainians credited Patriots with intercepting a Kinzhal over Kiev. That event shifted perception. Theory had turned into practice, but interception rates remain limited. For cruise missiles like Kaliber or KH-101, Ukraine's air defenses score around 67%, even as drones hit 63% of the time. However, hypersonics score much lower, 25% interception for Kinzhals, about 33% for Zircons. The math is stark. As Russia launches more hypersonics, Ukraine's inventory of interceptors, especially Patriots, is strained. Reports indicate shortages and slower resupply, reducing long-term sustainability. Hypersonics have already triggered policy shifts across NATO. New radars like Guyane-based AN/TPY-2 systems and terminal phase interceptors are now accelerated. Emergency talks between Ukraine and allies have focused on these upgrades. Meanwhile, nations worldwide, China, Iran, North Korea, are hustling to develop their own hypersonic missiles, learning from Russia's battlefield deployments. These weapons have shifted from academic concepts to combat-proven threats. Another key point: deploying 6 Kinzhals in a single launch serves dual purposes militarily impactful, but also psychologically intimidating. Russia's use of Oreshnik, a Mach 11-capable IRBM, first used in November 2024, amplified that effect, even though it's not yet widespread. That strike prompted NATO to hold high-level emergency talks. This message is clear. Russia wants adversaries to treat these weapons seriously, not as rare outliers, but as strategic capabilities. And real missile detections, even if intercepted, generate intelligence gains. Western operators have refined intercept algorithms and tactics thanks to Ukraine's Patriot engagements. Looking ahead, what comes next? If Russia can improve targeting and integrate hypersonics with drone saturations and EW tactics, current air defense systems may degrade further. Static defense doctrine is under pressure. Mobility and sensor fusion are becoming vital. NATO's assumptions about air superiority are being redesigned. Finally, let's reflect. Hypersonic weapons mark a shift, not in scale, but in mindset. They force nations to move from bulk and bravery to precision, adaptability, and timing. Wars may no longer be won by thicker armor or larger fleets, but by the fastest, most unpredictable tools integrated into smarter systems. We're witnessing a turning point in modern conflict. Hypersonics aren't just hype, they're battlefield-tested tools reshaping deterrence, planning, and procurement. If you're watching this far, you know it too. What's your perspective? Are hypersonic weapons the future of military dominance, or simply another phase in an evolving conflict? Share your thoughts below. If you found this breakdown clear and compelling, hit like and subscribe and stay with us, because the battlefield is changing and we're watching it unfold in real time.